you get the? I don't know her, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever get the vibe that she's like a little immature? How annoyed are you right now? On a scale of 1 to
500, 500.
500.
500.
Why?
So last year we've had quite a few episodes where we talked about entertainment. Are you okay? You look like a grizzly bear.
I got an itch that I just can't scratch.
That's great.
All right, go ahead.
So last year you gave me shit for my entertainment budget.
I did.
This year I'm at 0 and I plan on doing 0 for now. There's nothing really I want to go to that's been like out/confirmed yet. However,
Time out. You didn't go to any.
you get mad at me for interrupting.
I said time out. First of all, you interrupt me
Okay.
all the fucking time. I said time out.
From now on, if I want to interrupt you, I'm just going to go time out. Go ahead. I don't even know where I was
The
going.
one fucking time.
Time out.
I was trying to like signal because before you started what you were going to say, I wanted to point something out and ask a question.
Go.
Did you not go to any Celtics games this year?
I went to one.
Okay, so that's part of the entertainment budget. So
Okay.
don't say you didn't do anything.
Okay, I did one.
Did you go to a Bruins game?
No.
No Bruins game.
Last year.
Okay.
So last year.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I just wanted to
Thank-
point that out.
Thank you.
Because,
Yes, I went to one Celtics game this year. And it was against the Heat.
you went to 2.
This year? I went to one.
The one that me and Mel went to, was that last year?
That was last year. That was the end of
Oh,
last
it was. All right. Okay.
That was the
Okay.
end of last
All
year.
right.
Trying to rip me
No,
a new one.
I'm just
Shut up.
trying to keep it honest.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Okay. So you usually give me shit on my entertainment budget, but we were just talking about that there's a lot of concerts that you want to go to. So I think your entertainment budget has gotten me beat potentially for this year because other than that Celtics game, I don't think I'm going to anything else. There's no other, unless maybe it's like a $15, $20 show that might be at the Palladium or something random, but like nothing of substantial value.
I've bought I've gone to one Celtics game in 2024, but there was a Christmas gift, so I didn't pay for it. We're going, me and my father, my cousin are going to the Red Sox Yankees game in a few weeks. So I did buy those tickets.
Were they expensive? I feel like the Red Sox tickets aren't super expensive.
Not bad because it's the
we suck.
Yankees, it's still a little bit, but I also counted it as a Father's Day gift because it's 2 days before Father's Day.
Fair.
And then we bought tickets to the Mets game at the end of July, which is like probably $30.
Yeah, that's not.
So that wasn't bad.
I don't really call those like entertainment budget. The ones that are of like substantial value of like 60, 70, 80.
Yeah, so right now just the Red
100.
Sox game because there's a lot of concerts that I want to go to, but
Name them.
I'm gun shy.
Name them.
Metallica I'm going to, but we just talked off camera about this. I bought those in January of 2023.
So that was part of 2023 budget.
So I mean, I just have to go to the concert.
Okay.
There's Bleeding Through in a few weeks,
Okay.
which is like $40 tops, but it's not confirmed that we're going.
Okay.
Slipknot's 25th anniversary show. Time to wake up.
What you want to do? You want to go to?
I do want to go to that, but I looked. Xfinity's nice, but the tickets are so expensive because you have to sit underneath.
Don't like Xfinity as like a venue.
Really, I like it when you're underneath. I really like that venue.
I think that's the only place you can be because if you're at the lawn, like one, you can't really see. You're watching a TV of it.
Yeah.
So you're just listening to live music. So if you're okay with that and you got tickets for $20 and you just wanted to go to like be around people or whatever, cool, that's fine, I guess. If you're in the seats, if you're like in that very last part that's like covered, I still think it's so hard to see. You have to be like one section closer than the very,
and those
very
are just
like,
so expensive because back in the day the lawn used to be so big and then they put seats out there, so now the lawn's like this little strip.
It's small,
and if you're sitting in the seats out that aren't covered, you can't see shit.
No, you're watching a TV screen.
Yeah, and that's for Janet. That's what it was. But we didn't spend a lot of money on Janet, so I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot of times you can actually get those seats on like Groupon, which is super strange. But you can get like those either lawn or like those seats for like $20. And in which case, if it's someone that you like don't totally care about, but you just like wanted to go to like be in the vicinity and listen to the music, and you spent $20, then that's cool. But if you're spending like $50 for those seats, I think that's stupid. Yeah. Like, I just think that that's so much money to like not even be able to watch them. I'm like, at least at like TD Garden, I mean, you could be really high up, but you can still kind of like make out what's going on. Like, I visually can't see anything from that far. And I don't know if it's because maybe like those aren't as raised that maybe you would have like a direct view. Like, it
just feels so far away at Xfinity. And I mean, I saw Slipknot there before COVID, and we were like happened to get 5 rows back on one of the corners. I like to see the show. Even when I go to a metal show, I don't like to be in the pit, and I like to watch the band and enjoy it. So I don't know, because I'd have to get fairly close. So that's another one. And then Hootie and the Blowfish is playing Fenway in a few weeks, and I didn't get tickets to that one. And
do you want to go?
I did, but not again. I'm so gun shy on fucking buying tickets. And then what's the other one? Creed. Creed's so expensive.
Is it really?
Yeah, Creed's so expensive.
So that's 4 shows that's
another one.
To.
And then Limp Bizkit at
5.
Xfinity.
5.
And then we're potentially going to SmackDown in Worcester, and then the
6.
Raw is in Providence.
7.
I have tickets to none of those.
So that's 7 of them.
7.
What's the likelihood that you would attend all 7?
Not very. No.
Well, it's the likelihood that you would attend 5.
Of those events that I mentioned, I think SmackDown's going to happen.
Okay.
But if I'm being honest, unless we did it last minute, because I'm going to the Red Sox game on the 14th, and then the day after is the Bleeding Through show.
Okay.
The only good thing is it's during the day.
Okay.
So because it'll probably get over around like 7 maybe.
That's not bad.
So it's not terrible, but
what's stopping you? Is it money?
For that weekend, it's just because I'm going to Boston
already
the day before, and it's a 7:00 game. I won't get back till maybe like 12.
What's stopping you from buying all of the tickets like now to just secure it? Is that money?
Yeah, money. Yeah. I can't reason with spending that much money. Like, the ones that most likely aren't going to happen is Creed and Hootie and the Blowfish.
Really?
Because Creed's so expensive, and Hootie's coming up in a few weeks.
Is Creed sold out?
No.
Like, is it just on StubHub?
No, they're just so expensive. So I'd say those 2 are the most likely to not happen. Raw is not. If I go to SmackDown in July, I don't really need to go to Raw in August. I would.
Okay.
I don't really need to. So that maybe that one too.
Creed. Let's see what ticket prices are like. What's expensive to you for ticket prices?
But you got to look. This is like before fees too. So it's per ticket.
Right.
I don't know, dude. Anything over $100 for a ticket to me is expensive.
That's tough because they're a big band versus
I know.
like
and
a small band.
They're just coming back, so
right.
I don't know. I mean, you're looking. Some of those seats are like 190, and that's before fees. Fees are like, I know they're like 30 to 40%.
Yeah,
which is fucking crazy.
They have general admission to the sides for 101 each.
Yeah.
So for 2 tickets, it would be like 202.
I know, but see, the way you're sitting too, it's like, what are you gonna see? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I enjoy going to concerts and shit, but it becomes a money thing. And there might be other shows that are coming up too that I haven't even seen yet. But those are the ones. Those are my list of things in my entertainment budget that I have yet to pull the trigger on.
I would check StubHub because it's not sold out, but people buy tickets and then they realize that they can't go because something came up. So then they end up reselling it on StubHub. So I would check there. I'm kind of trying to look real quick for you, but I don't know if I'll be able to. But that might be good. I don't think I'm going to any concerts. However, the reason why we talked about doing this episode is because, ooh, not bad.
Ooh.
Yeah. Check Check StubHub.
I'll check the stubs.
$96.
I was gonna say the hub, but that's a different website.
$96 because someone decided that they couldn't go.
And that's like far out there though.
But those same tickets were like $105, so it's like you're saving
$9.
It's still something.
I guess.
It's still something.
I
would look
suppose.
more. I'm not looking right now.
I'll check the hub.
Yeah.
StubHub. See, I just said don't say the hub because it's a different hub.
Yeah.
But I'll check StubHub maybe.
So the reason why we were talking about this episode originally was because rumor has it that Taylor Swift is coming back on tour. She never stopped. Look at that go. I think that's a talent.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so she never actually stopped. There's rumors that she just released a new album. She's in other countries right now. She's going to Germany soon or something. She's in another country. She's coming back to the U.S. and she was just doing only a couple shows, like only a few. And they were like Miami and somewhere else that was random. And then that was going to be it. But there's rumors that because she dropped a new album, and she usually tours when most people tour when they drop a new album, and she's already on tour, and there were some other tidbits that she might be coming back on tour, aka not coming back, but just continuing on when she does her Miami and whatever dates. She shall continue and do like Gillette Stadium, maybe some other stadiums, maybe not as many shows or something like that.
Yeah.
In which case, that would be my only entertainment budget, I think, for the
You just saw her last year at Gillette.
Correct.
And what was that tour?
That was the Eras tour. So that was a big tour. That was a big tour in the sense that most artists tour for each album. That typically is what happens.
Yeah.
But because of COVID, she was supposed to tour for an album called Lover. COVID happened. The whole tour got canceled. People bought tickets. People had tickets.
Yeah.
COVID happened, whatever else. So people were really upset because obviously like they were looking forward to it, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was that one never got toured. Then during COVID, she dropped 2 more albums that never got toured. So then the Eras tour was like her way of being like, oh, instead of me doing 3 tours for 3 albums that came out, one of which happened at that point like 3 years ago, she was going to do a tour that would have every album that she's ever made. So
how is that unique?
It was the first, it was the first time that a show she nonstop performed herself, not an opener, for like 3.5 hours.
She's not going top to bottom.
So she did. She kind of did it as like she started it out with like her debut album.
I know, but what I'm saying is that's not unique to any tour that anybody does. They usually will play old shit mixed in with new shit.
Right, but it's usually only like a song or like 2 songs.
So how many did she do?
She played a total of like 50 songs or something.
Okay, so she just did like a long set.
She did a longer set and she broke it down by album. So like she did a few songs from.
Was it right in a row? So she did like 4 of the debut, and all right. So she did it chronologically.
So she did like she started off with like, let's say Lover, and then like all of a sudden it would go into a different album.
Okay, so she wasn't
like
mixing. She wasn't going up and around. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she would do a whole set change and a whole wardrobe change, and it would be for each album. So she never stopped, and there would be like 3 to like 7, 8 songs per album, with some of the newer ones that never got toured having longer sets, I guess. So it was different in that sense. And then the Jonas Brothers copied afterwards and did their own version of it, not called the Eras Tour. But it was like a 2.5, like 3-hour show of just like all of their songs. They kind of did it because I think people realized that there's like a money grab for this because people were like selling out the stadiums for Taylor and doing this whole thing. So I think the Jonas Brothers tried, and I actually like the Jonas Brothers, but
I mean,
I don't think there was a reason for them to do it.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't super get it.
So that would be my only entertainment budget for the year of 2024 if she comes around. I did go to the show last year. And
you went to the movie.
And I went to the movie. I don't know necessarily if this would be a repeat of the last concert. I doubt it. I think it would be like a new version of it.
Yeah.
In which case, if it is a new version, then I would go. If it's the same, I might think twice about it because I've already had the opportunity to go, and it was fun.
Didn't you go twice?
No, I went.
What was
once.
the concert you went to twice?
Jonas Brothers, because Gravelisi gave me free tickets.
Never heard of her.
She was great and gave me free tickets, which was awesome. So
that's
Heather
the one
and
thing
took her niece.
I won't
Shout out Heather.
Shout out Heather. I won't do it on the same tour. I've seen the same bands multiple times, but I won't do it on the same tour. Nah, because it's like the set is the same typically.
Usually.
Although what Metallica's doing that is somewhat unique is it's two shows. There's one on a Friday, one on a Sunday. It's two completely different openers and two different sets completely.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
So that's kind of unique to where
you wanted to go to both, right? Are you
going
to
going
both?
yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
But it's two different openers and two different sets. So it's not like you're seeing the same set list on the same tour. Because then I would be like, why am I going to do that?
Yeah.
But it's no repeat weekend. That's what they're calling it.
Is that really what they're calling it?
But they have such an extensive catalog. Plus they have covers and shit. So,
it's a lot. It's a lot of music. For Taylor, if she were to come back around, if she were to do that, she's already dropped one new album, and it's called The Tortured Poets Department. Have you heard of any songs from it yet or anything like that? Like by chance?
No. I just saw the name when I was walking in Target. They had a display.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's just so...
It's very long, but there's a reason.
What's it called again?
The Tortured Poets Department.
Yeah, and I don't know what this is, but when I read it, my innate reaction was, ugh.
There's a reasoning behind everything that she does. Like, there's always a reason. You might not see it right away, but
there's a reason why everybody does everything.
No,
but to me, it was just so artsy, fartsy, like dramatic.
She leaves, not in the way that there's a reason why, but I more so mean that she leaves Easter eggs in things. So, like the way that the Tortured Poets Department is written, it's like a TTPD. Like, there's hidden things in it. Like, it upside down reads a word in Gaelic, which is, people are saying is like a hint or an ode to another album that is going to be re-released, because I don't know if you know, but Taylor Swift lost all the rights to her music because it got sold or whatever. So she re-released albums.
I do remember that. The original album she re-recorded. Right?
Yes, so she has re-recorded all of her albums so far, but she has not released all of them to like her fans yet.
What happened with that though? What was that about?
So like Big Machine or whatever, I think it's this big company, sold the songs to Scooter Braun, which Scooter Braun was Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, like a lot of like major artists, like manager. And she wanted to buy them. She wanted to buy them, but they literally wouldn't sell it to her, and he sold it to Scooter Braun instead of herself, so that she could own.
And he didn't.
He didn't give it up.
Yeah.
And so.
Wait, all right. So when she had that album come out, she didn't. I mean, most artists. Not saying it's a good thing, they don't own the rights to their own music, which is so stupid.
Right. So for her, she's like, I will buy the rights, because she can buy the rights, but they like physically wouldn't sell it to her. So she, it was actually Kelly Clarkson apparently came up with this idea of like, you should like maybe like re-release your music. And she was like, she kind of meant it as like a joke, but like thought it would be like a cool idea. Yeah. She had no idea that it would turn into Taylor literally re-recording like 7 albums and then into her own, like they call it Taylor's version.
Yeah. All right. I've seen those come up.
She would release it as a new album, but Taylor's version. So it's all the same songs, just re-released. Yeah. However, she includes tracks called From the Vault, which every single album that she's put out like an additional 3, 4, 5 songs that she wrote back in that time when she was first writing like that album. What? It's a very official thing.
It's like you're so passionate about all things Swift.
Well, it's like also like really fucked up. Like it's a fucked up scenario where like so imagine like you work so hard and then like someone comes in and like buys it from you when you're like, hey, like I can buy it, like hello. Yeah. So then you lose the rights to it. So you're like, okay, how do I get this back so that like I own it?
Didn't this also happen with? Didn't Michael Jackson buy the rights to the Beatles and then wouldn't sell it?
I don't know, actually. I don't know the answer.
Could be remembering that incorrectly, but there was something with that because Paul McCartney did a song with Michael Jackson, and then afterwards, Michael Jackson bought the rights to the Beatles songs. It was like this weird feud kind of thing. Yeah, so this shit kind of happens with artists. Yeah, it's fucked up.
So she decided that she would re-release the songs. She would include 3 to 5 new songs that no one's ever heard that were written at the time that like the whole album would have been written, like whether an album actually came out like 10 years ago, but she was re-releasing it now. But you would finally hear these songs that like almost piece together a story during that like 10-year ago in her lifetime situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. So what are the new hot tracks of the Dead Poets Society?
The Tortured Poets Society.
You didn't even say it right.
Tortured Poets Department. You said society, so you threw me off. So there's a few. So there's one called Down Bad, which is about Travis Kelce.
I thought you were going to say Scott for some reason. I have no idea why. Travis Scott.
Yep. There's another one called Thank You, Amy. And the way that it's spelled is in the thank. There's a capital K.
Think or thank? Thank.
In the K, there's a capital. That K is capital in the think. And then U is all lowercase. And then Amy, the entire word, it's spelled AIMEE. And that's all lowercase except for the IM. So when you look at the capital, it's KIM. So that song's about Kim Kardashian. So naturally, that one did really well.
Are they friends?
No, because of Kanye.
What the fuck does that have to do?
So I really don't know about.
No,
this was like 2007. So
I take pride of the rock that I live under.
You have to know this during.
When he interrupted her.
When he interrupted her, right?
Okay, so this is like 20 fucking years ago.
So he interrupted her. That was it. That was supposed to be it. But there was always like this feud, which like she grew up listening to Kanye, so she avidly talked about how she really liked Kanye.
Yeah.
So when he did that obviously made her feel really shitty.
Yeah.
So then he was gonna put out a song called "I Made That Bitch Famous," right? He made that song. I made that bitch famous. You know that song?
No. I don't think so,
By
bro.
By Kanye?
Yeah, play it real quick. Just play a snippet.
Okay.
We can't get demonetized if we're not monetized. So.
Oh.
That sounds like Justin Timberlake.
No, it did. There you go.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
So in the video, so when he was making this song, apparently he called Taylor to be like, hey, is this okay if I like put you in the song? And she was just like, yeah, that's fine. Not knowing that in the music video, they were going to do a like wax figure of her naked in like a tub or something.
Did she hear the lyrics first?
I think she heard like part of it, but not all of it. And Kim Kardashian then recorded the whole conversation and altered it in a way so that it made it seem like she was okay with everything that was in it when she didn't know that part of it was like literally dissing her and putting her like nude wax figure of her. Like it, like there was like so much more to it.
See, all right, I'm pause for a second there because this is where I'm going to say, not blaming her because maybe she wouldn't have known that, but her legal team and shit.
Like, how are you not?
It's
fucking Kim Kardashian and like
just in general, whether it could be somebody you're cool with. Like, hey, can I use your likeness for this? And you have all right. Here's a contract. Sign the contract.
Yeah.
Because then if you do some fucked up shit, then I can take you to court. Because now you just breached the contract. So why is nobody on her team? Nobody fucking thought of this?
I guess not. So it was it was all sorts of messed up. So in a way, like, because Kim released that and made it seem like she was okay with all of it, and like then people were like, is Taylor lying? And
what did she release again?
A recording of her and Kanye talking, of her being like, yeah, that's okay. Like, yeah, you can use like my name and whatever.
Okay.
So essentially she just ended up like dragging her into her family. And then like people were like pro Kim or you're pro Taylor, but you can't like both or whatever.
I never knew this was a beef.
Yeah, so this was a beef.
Never fucking knew this.
So now fast forward, she never really like talked about Kim like ever. Fast forward now, she's put out a song, and the song talks about how like essentially like she used to like her mom used to wish that like she was dead, like Kim was dead because like she hurt her daughter.
Yeah.
She talks about how there's like some catchy lines in there about like, you know, she used to scream to like the sky like fuck you Amy, but now she says thank you Amy because she is acknowledging that like everything that she has probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for that situation that had happened to her. So at the end she almost like thanks Kim, and there's like a little jab at it saying that like there's going to be a day where your daughter comes home singing this song, not knowing that it's about like her mom.
Do you get the, I don't know her, right?
Yeah.
But do you ever get the vibe that she's like a little immature?
Taylor?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I feel like if I never got the last word on something ever.
What do you mean ever?
Like she never like Kim constantly like badgered her in different ways.
Okay, but how long ago was this? We're gonna like
this was a while ago at this point.
So now we're rehashing it.
So like now it's this like, because you don't even know when she wrote the song, right? Like she could have written this technically
right, but she released
at the time,
it.
but she released it recently.
Right.
So she could have written it in a time where she's like, you know what? Like I feel so good about where I am now that this is like a, well, fuck you, Kim, to now a full circle moment of like being like, you know what? Like I used to think this about you, but I'm letting you know indirectly, I guess. Like I appreciate what you did for me. Like I'm good.
I just think there's a way to do that in a more abstract way, to have Kim be the target but not really know that it's her. Like that's subliminal, like capital K, capital I. Like that's so obvious.
So that's what I thought. But I've seen this recent video that maybe because Taylor's so good at subliminal messages, there you go, that this song isn't actually about Kim Kardashian. I don't know if this is true. However, it's potentially about, she used to have this like really close friend named Karlie Kloss, and Karlie Kloss had a younger sister named Kim who I guess was like mean towards her, or something had happened. There was a feud between them. They were like the best of friends, and then all of a sudden they weren't. Like it was a very like abrupt ending.
Yes.
So people are saying that maybe it's a double-edged sword, and it's to both Kims, because that her ex-best friend's sister's name is Kim, and she also has kids. So it's like no one really knows. It's just a hypothetical what people think. Like it could be both. It could be one. It could be, I don't know. We don't know. She never owns up to it. Like she never talks about how there was a song that was called like Style. It's like you never go out of style. You never go out of style. Okay, so it literally goes style, right? And they go, who is this song about? And she's like, no, nobody. It's just about like being stylish. Her ex at the time was Harry Styles, but like she'll never actually own up to like a song.
That's even worse. If you're gonna fucking do it, own it. Stop being like a little fucking girl.
So she'll never do it. Like another one.
So she's just like, she's almost like the
she leaves like Easter eggs everywhere.
She's like the text message tough guy, kind of like
behind closed doors.
Yeah, I think it's like, this is kind of like oh no, it's not that, and then really it is.
Also, she like doesn't want to like out.
Then don't
people.
put the fucking song out. She wants to be like a text message tough guy.
I feel like, as someone who's like a girl that grew up with Taylor in the way that like Taylor's 32, so like as she was going
on 15,
so as she was going through things like in her life, I was also experiencing like graduating.
You guys should
high
just
school.
be friends.
I wish. I was also experiencing high school and friendships and breakups and makeups and whatever else. So like as she was like releasing these songs, a lot of girls, not just myself, were resonating with it, which is I think why she's built such a like follower base, because now she's appealing to the really young kids, but then the people who are like myself, who are millennials, she also appeals to them in the way that like we've almost like grown up with a lot of the same things that she sings about. So like when you go through a breakup, like, yeah, there was a song that I was listening to that like reminded me of the breakup because it was something that I went through and I resonated with it. So she talks about things that are just like really, it's like any artist. I think any artist really talks about like, I mean, Beyonce literally wrote was it Lemonade or something like that? That was about her, like, Jay-Z's affair. Like, it calls out Jay-Z's affair without actually calling out Jay-Z's affair.
But, I mean, she hasn't been super subliminal because the stereotype against her was that she dragged all her exes in her songs.
That's the stereotype about it.
I mean...
But, like, every artist talks about a relationship.
I know, but it was almost... I guess. It just seemed like it was... Her thing was... if she would break up with somebody, it's like, oh, now I'm going to go write a record and drag you.
It was sometimes either she broke up, a lot of times they broke up too. So, I mean, like, it goes both ways.
Does it though?
It does. It goes both ways.
Common denominator.
No. It's like any relationship. But, like, I think for whatever reason, people put the spotlight on her because of maybe she's and this could be like a whole other topic to be. I don't know if it's because she's a female, it's because she does it. But so the opposing view of people who don't like her, most of the time it's because they're like, she drags her boyfriends, like, that's so stupid. But a lot of artists do that. Like, The Weeknd literally wrote one about Selena Gomez and Bella Hadid. Like, Drake has written one about every ex, like, homie bitch, whatever he's ever had. So it's like, I
agree.
So, like, I think it just depends. I think there's just different eyes on her for whatever reason.
I think because she almost has the Tom Brady complex where when he was playing, it was like, oh, Tommy terrific. Tommy does no wrong. And then every time you'd see him do something where he's screaming at a teammate, people would be like, oh, no, that's just Tom. You know, like he got away with everything. So she's like the darling of America
right now, but at the time she wasn't for a while. I mean, like when the whole Kanye West thing happened in like the whatever it was, MTV Video Music Awards, I think it was. Like she thought people were booing at her. They were booing, but they were booing at Kanye for like interrupting. Yeah. So like she battled with her weight a lot because people would be like, she's too fat. Then they would be like, oh, she's too skinny. So then she would gain some weight back. And then like people always had, oh, she's pregnant. She must be pregnant. Like I think it was, what's it, Wendy Williams or whatever, that talk show host that was like very like absurdly blunt. She was like, she would be like, oh, I think Taylor's pregnant by one of her like boyfriend. Like they would just like say things like that. So like she's only recently become like the darling, but for like a long time, she like battled. I guess
she was the target. I mean,
she was the target from like a lot of people.
Well, that's nobody had it worse than fucking Britney Spears.
True.
I mean that was kind of that was like the first new wave of the pop star where maybe in going into the social media era. Yeah. Where now everybody's so accessible.
We haven't had a pop star, like when you think of pop stars, like worldwide phenomenons, right? Britney, Christina were like the 90s. Can you think of any that were like early 2000s that were like worldwide pop stars? Like I would say like, you know, like Aaliyah and Ciara were like pop stars, but I wouldn't necessarily call them like worldwide pop stars per se. Female pop stars?
No, because
like Queen.
I'm trying to think. In the early 2000s? No, because I think it was...
It was more about like boy bands and...
For a time.
Girl bands, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like the 2010s were still about boy bands. Like it was very One Direction and 5 Seconds of Summer. And
I think like Bieber became like a...
But female-wise? I'm thinking just female.
Just females?
Yeah.
Probably Grande. Maybe. I don't know.
That was later on. Yeah.
Gomez, maybe.
So I think that's where I'm like, so besides Britney and Christina, there really hasn't been like a female, like high top female worldwide pop star.
Shakira, J-Lo, maybe. I mean, Shakira, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Would J-Lo be considered one? I feel like she went into the movie realm.
Well, like she started in the movie realm, I think.
Would you consider Shakira? Yeah,
probably
I could see that.
Maybe Shakira more so.
But like she would be tied in with like Christina and Britney, because that was that time.
era.
Yeah,
okay.
that was that era. So since then, there weren't really anybody else until like within the past, let's say like 6-7 years, where it was Ariana, Selena, and Taylor. Those are like, I would say, the top 3 like female performing artists that are like a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah.
So I think just more eyes are like on.
Well, it's she was a weird one because she started before social media really got big. I mean, Facebook was out, but that was it.
So she started on MySpace. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Taylor was putting out like, she was one of the first artists to really connect with her fans via MySpace, and it was a way of her like connecting and meeting new people, and like people felt close to her. So like that was a really great way, I guess people say, that kickstarted her growth, because she was like filming like selfie YouTube style videos that she was putting onto
because even that like
MySpace.
And Bieber kind of did the same thing. He was a little bit later, but he did the same thing. But I mean, I remember her first one came out in like what, 04, 5, 6, somewhere around there. That very first album.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 04 and 06, 7 maybe.
Debut.
07?
I think it's 2007, but I could be wrong.
Somewhere in that realm.
2006.
Okay, so that was her first, and that is, MySpace was out. Facebook was new. It was only like a couple years old at that point.
It was that.
Yep.
Everyone knew that. She was like an evolving country star that all of a sudden people...
Yeah.
Like, she hit a demographic of young girls who maybe didn't listen to country because it was a lot of like older men
Yeah, she was a
singing,
crossover. Yeah.
that like, I was listening to her and I didn't like country.
Yeah.
I was also 2006. I was 13 years old. So
I mean, I did enjoy country. There was some good songs on that one.
Yeah. What
that
song
was
do you remember?
Pull up the track list.
Okay.
Because
Teardrops on My Guitar.
Her first couple albums, there was songs I liked. Now they're probably like teeny bopper shit now because I'm fucking 30 something.
Let me see. Was it?
But at a time where I was probably 2006, probably like.
I was 13,
17,
so you were
18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, maybe you knew Teardrops on My Guitar.
Yeah, obviously. That was like her hit.
Picture to Burn. Just another
That's a good one.
picture
Yeah.
to burn.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Tim McGraw.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't know if you would know this, but Our Song.
Yeah.
Our Song is the same. Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't know. The only other one I would expect you to know is Shoulda Said No.
That was a good one too.
I loved that one.
Let me see. Wait, let me see the rest of the track list because
I'd be really surprised if you knew another one off of there.
Let me see.
So like when she re-releases, this is one of 2 albums.
Just another picture to burn.
Yeah. So this is one of 2 albums that have not been re-released yet. This and then Reputation. So everyone's waiting for the final 2. She's already re-recorded it.
I'm Only Me When I'm With You.
You know that one?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Should have said no. It was good. This was like on my iPod that I still have. And then go to the second album.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, I think here, hold on.
I haven't heard that song in so fucking long. Just another picture to burn. All right. Fearless.
I feel like you know Fearless. I think you know 15.
Fearless, 15, Love Story.
15.
You Belong With Me.
Yeah. Everyone knew the video for You Belong With Me.
I know that, but I feel like there's a song that I'm thinking of that I can't come up with in my brain.
I wonder if it's like a later album that you're thinking of.
White Horse.
Is she was still in her like
country
album.
Yeah, give me a third album. I'm trying to think. There's a song that I might be thinking of.
Let me see.
That
Can
I don't
you sing it or no?
Nah, because it's just something that if I see it, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's the one.
Okay, hold on. I think the next one would be Speak Now. I'm pretty sure.
Because then it gets into like I don't even know how many fucking albums she has now. There's shit that I don't even know. Like the Dead Poet Society. I don't know. All right.
Tortured Poets Department.
Back to December. That's a good one.
That was
Mine.
about Taylor Lautner.
Maybe it was Mine.
You are the best thing.
That's a good one. I fuck with it. You know which one I hated though?
Which one?
Mean.
Why you gotta be so mean?
To me, I was like, I was already at that point. What year did this come out? 2010. So
You're
I was
a liar and pathetic. And
how old was I?
Mean.
22.
I was 17.
Yeah. So when I heard that, I was like, grow up. At 22, I was like, fucking grow up.
She's closer.
Why you gotta be so mean?
There were a lot of good songs. So it's funny that like I've liked this conversation so far. I didn't know that you've actually listened to
I
her
never
stuff
said
before.
I didn't like. I don't like. We talked about this all the time. I don't like the over idolizing of people. I don't like putting people on a pedestal.
Yeah. But we can respect the fact that like she either had some hits in your sense, or in my case, I'm
songs.
like she's good.
I don't think there's any artist. I'd have to really look, but I don't think there's any artist that I don't like their shit. I mean, I know there's so many different artists I'd have to listen to, like, but I can't think of anybody where I'm like, oh, I fucking hate every
song that they put out.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I can either.
From the shit that I've heard, I mean, I can kind of go with anything.
So, like I was saying, there's 2 albums that have not been re-released yet. One is that very first debut album of the Teardrops on My Guitar and whatever else.
But she re-released that song though, didn't she?
No. So what's gonna happen? Yeah. So what's gonna happen is that she's gonna release that debut album, include probably 3 or 4 songs that she might have written at that time, and actually record them.
Bro, that has been re-recorded. That song,
Teardrops on My Guitar.
That one song.
No.
It had to have been. There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
Hold on.
I swear I've heard a different version of this song.
No.
Unless I'm just... maybe it was just acoustic or something?
Maybe. Oh, I think there was like an acoustic version that came out, but... Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm just thinking of an acoustic version of it.
People are speculating that Reputation will come out like summer of this year, and then that debut album will be the last one to come out at the end of this year. And then all of them would be released.
Wait, Taylor's version?
Yes.
This is what this says right here.
Debut? Let me see. Is it the debut?
On My Guitar, Taylor's version. I swear I fucking heard a different version of this song. But this one says Taylor's version, but it has like no views on it, so I don't.
Yeah, it might not actually be it.
I don't know.
Because when I look up Teardrops on My Guitar, there was a radio version of it, and then there was a radio version of it and a pop version of it.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Because this one does say, yeah, no, it's concept. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Because what she'll do is, like, for example, see how that is the album. What she's going to do, and this is what she has been doing, is she'll reshoot the picture for this album as her now of a 30-whatever-year-old, and she'll take bits and pieces that look similar to this to, like, re-release it.
That Taylor
with all her Easter eggs. So, moral of the story is that if she comes around and she includes some new things, I will be going. Apparently, there is going to be a musical made of Taylor on Broadway, and it's going to be traveling eventually. It's called Female Rage, the musical, or something like that.
Oh. Sign me the fuck up.
So there is potentially that. There's a lot of potentials. We'll see what actually happens. Maybe we'll do like a recap at the end of the year of what actually happened. Even though we didn't actually do a recap of how we did in our NFL guesstimates.
I did worse than you.
You did worse than me.
I said the Patriots were going to be 9-8. They were 4-13. I think I said Washington 10-7.
I think I did 5 and whatever.
That wasn't even fucking close.
We'll see you again this year. So yeah, that's my entertainment budget for this year. Glad to know that your entertainment budget's a little more than mine for once. I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying
I also said on all those things I only bought 2 baseball games right now.
For now.
For now, I know I gotta see.
For now.
But you're also going on vacation, dog.
Yeah, I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
Where I'm going with Shout Out Heather.
Yeah. Shout out Heather.
Shout out Heather. She needs a shout out.
Does she?
Yeah. Her doggie's a little sick right now. They're trying to figure out what's going on. I know.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
I know.
Now is not the time for my dark humor, probably.
Not right now. Sending love to shout out Heather. And that's it. So I guess we'll do a recap of what looks to be on the horizon for you. And if you end up going to all 7 of these shows or 5 of the 7.
It's so unlikely.
We'll see.
It's so unlikely, but yeah, we'll see. I really want to go to the Bleeding Through show, but then again, they're not the headliner. And I got to go back to Boston.
It's not that bad.
I know.
It's not that bad.
I know, but
it's not bad.
I did just see that. Oh, sorry. There's an 8th one, Hardcore Metal Fest.
So 8.
Which is like fucking expensive. The lineup's not that good, but I haven't seen Throwdown in probably exactly 20 years.
So 8 potentially.
And I'd have to wear my Throwdown shoes because I had Air Forces signed by the band back 20 years ago, way back in the day.
I love that for you.
Yeah, me too.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shout out to Skylar Batz.
Skylar
Batz.
Motherfucking Batz. Dude, that thing's catching on. You know how many people will say Skylar Batz to me?
Like that. Like her full name.
Yeah, they'll say it just like that. Skylar Batz.
Shout out to Skylar Batz. And shout out to Be a Nice Human. And
Yes.
that's about it.
I don't know. Who else?
We have nobody else.
Heather, Cheese.
Cheese.
Who else have we
Graham.
shout out?
Hope you enjoyed your double movie day.
Okay, bye.
Love you guys. Bye.